Section 109.
Now, Section 109. Section 109. You know Bobby Howell up in Kosciuszko, great conservative representative?
No.
You know, he's vice chairman of Ways and Means.
I know, but I don't know him personally.
I mean, he was accused of violating Section 109 because he's a pharmacist, and he serves Medicaid patients. The court said that was okay. The court has changed their interpretations numerous times, and we just need clear rules, and what I do is I comply with the rules as they are now.
If you could hold on, I'm going to tell you why I think this is most important. Because I think we have one of the most important lieutenant governor's races in the history of the state. And the dynamics are coming to the point where these questions have to be answered, because if they don't bring them out now, they're going to be brought out by somebody else. You want to stick around for a moment, second?
Oh, sure.
All right. Thank you, sir. Back in a moment. We are back. Senator Charlie Ross. Well, we said it would it would get a little hotter, and things were heating up. And Charlie, I look at these things, and again, I still don't have a clear answer other than from you. Well, other people are doing it.
No, that's not my answer. Simply is that some lawyers in my firm represent the Mississippi Hospital Association on a set fee, and there is nothing wrong with that. We haven't benefited from that contract with Medicaid.
How do we know? Because would you release the information?
Well, I'm not going to speak for my firm, but I'm telling you, we get a set fee for representing them, and that contract's between the Hospital Association and
you would say that Section 109, in effect now, states that there is a clear possibility of an ethics rule violation from you because you are on, as a member of the Senate, you voted on this.
No.
And also as a member of the Senate, you make money directly or indirectly through your partnership with this firm that's representing the Mississippi Hospital Association.
No, you're just wrong on that, Paul.
Tell me why I'm wrong.
With all respect, you're just wrong on that. Section 109 applies when you have a contract with the state. And I don't have a contract with the state, nor does my firm. In fact, since I'm in the state legislature...
The Department of Medicaid is not a part of the state?
Yeah, but we don't have a contract with Medicaid.
And the money that comes through that is totally insulated from the state? The Department of Medicaid money on DISH or whatever the other reimbursements are?
We just get paid by the Hospital Association, a set fee for doing legal work. Mm-hmm. And we don't have a contract with the state. Section 109 don't apply unless you have a contract with the state. Tell me
why you did this in 2000, 2001, 2002. Tell me why you wanted to add this, and it was not voted in. Tell me why you wanted to add this, and it was you, Charlie Ross, that constantly did this 3 times. The line, if he voted on the law or order authorization of such contracts. Why was that necessary?
Can I give you the background on it?
Sure.
Okay. I have always taken pains to comply with all the ethics laws. And when you take pains to comply with them, you look at them and you realize that some of them may need to be tweaked. In Section 109, it used to be that it only applied to authorization bills for years and years and years. And then the court said it applies to appropriation bills, and then it's gone from real strict to less strict. And I mentioned the Bobby Howell case. The Supreme Court recently interpreted it, and I think they made a realistic interpretation of it and everything. I've always complied with every ethics law. I've taken pains. I've asked for ethics opinions if I needed them, and I'll continue to do that. But the issue is, if you look at most states, they have something akin to what I was proposing there. Mm-hmm. And the issue is simply what should be the proper remedy for a legislature who in an isolated case finds himself in a gray area. And the way Section 109 is...
But you're telling me you were concerned enough about this to go get an ethics opinion, and you have that opinion from the Mississippi Ethics Commission.
Well, I have always been concerned...
But yes or no on that?
Well, you say about this, I have always been concerned about complying with the ethics law. So if there was a particular situation that I thought raised a question, I got an opinion. And I do have an opinion that says that my law firm can represent a private party in negotiating a contract with the state.
Can you separate how do you separate the profits on this? Because when the Mississippi Hospital Association took in $5 million a year, ultimately about $20 million, on a contract that somebody else is now doing for $186,000 a year, and when the Division of Medicaid has asked for an audit, they've gotten an incomplete audit. And to this day, we checked recently, I think yesterday or before, they still haven't received the information that's needed for a full audit, things such as administrative cost and what your law firm was paid. When you have that discrepancy between $5 million that the Hospital Association was doing and $186,000, and to also know it's traced back to step one, where Charlie Ross and members of the House and Senate said and changed the law that said the Mississippi Hospital Association may to the Mississippi Hospital Association shall, which took them from an optional to giving them the contract. This was so wacky that even the federal government looked at this, Charlie, and said, wait a minute, how in the world can a state legislature demand that a nonprofit organization be given this contract outside the purview of an RFP, a request for proposal, or a bid status?
Well, I certainly agree with you, Paul.
Well, but your firm won that and automatically went into a $5 million contract, and who knows what the legal fees are.
The legislation doesn't refer to my firm. It refers to the Hospital Association.
I understand that.
And
but your vote as shall on that immediately brought you business.
Well, no, the Hospital Association decides who they're going to hire. They may hire other lawyers, too, for all I know. I'll simply say, back at that time, Paul, and at all times, I mean, we have a lot of lawyers. I don't do work for the Hospital Association, and I don't know who else they hire. But the fact of the matter is, I agree it should be an RFP, and whether it was a good contract between Medicaid and the Hospital Association, I hope Medicaid negotiated it properly and everything, and if it needs to be audited by the auditor, the contract between Medicaid and the Hospital Association,
then you're willing to give some of those documents that are needed?
Well, I am certainly support the idea that the auditor is entitled to audit a contract between Medicaid and the Hospital Association.
Well,